Greetings, we back with another video. And I just finished off a video as far as the PlayStation Network subscription service. You can check that out in my latest video. But this video I want to pretty much go back on time on the year anime and Toonami ruled gaming. That's right. The year that anime and Toonami ruled gaming. And not for nothing, there's still a lot of anime games that come out today. You still got your Naruto's, you still got your Dragon Ball Z's, but there were a lot of other games, and you got your Gundam, you got your Gundam. But a lot of people may not be aware of all of these other titles that were also found on the PlayStation 2 that were decent. They were decent enough games. It definitely had your fan service as far as, the anime tropes and all of that. All the action and everything was still there. You had certain developers that were coming into the game that were putting their spin on reactionary counterattacks. And one of those games that had reactionary counterattacks was Cowboy Bebop. If you ever played this game, or if you haven't, check it out. I'm pretty sure you can find it on eBay somewhere. It's an import game. The menu, you can navigate the menu. I'm pretty sure a lot of the menu is pretty much in Japanese, but you can navigate it if you find a video or troubleshoot to see how, you can get through to play the game. But it was pretty good. It was actually a fairly good game. But Toonami rocked gamers' socks off when they started releasing hit after hit after hit of these classic anime games. And I'm harking back on the fact that, the PlayStation Network can do a lot better. They could do a lot better for the gamers as far as giving you guys games or, giving you guys an outlet to actually play these games. Because I think the Japanese servers don't do the same thing either. They don't go back this far in gaming. And I don't know why. But, like I said, Sony got all this money. They can easily sit there and pay for these licenses to get these on the subscription services. Or the PSN network. Or PlayStation Now. At least let people try these games and test these games out for themselves, because these games are lost in time. And we're in 2022, and not one of these games I'm going to show you can be played only on but legacy consoles. As far as the digital, the digital format that we're going in, and everything's going to be online, if it isn't up to the collectors of games who hold physical copies of these games, a lot of these developers lost the source code for a lot of them. So I don't even know if they can even go back to even play these games or even boot them up to actually play on the service. Who knows? But I'm just going to go through a few quick games here. A couple of classics that I have in my collection that I still play to this day because I still got my PlayStation 2. And it works perfect. Ever since I bought it, it's been working good. And let me knock on wood now. I want nothing to happen to it. But, this is the only way I'm going to be able to experience these, to get these experiences in these classic titles. So, we have Cowboy Bebop. Now, there was a Cowboy Bebop game that was on the PlayStation 1. Never had it. But the PlayStation 2 kept with the same beats. It gave you a brand new story of these characters, but it let you play each and every one of these characters through stages. It was pretty good for its time. But like I said, these games are lost to time now, and this video is just a documentation of a time that's long gone. A lot of anime fans out here, you guys have no idea the onslaught of anime games we were getting. Like, yeah, you guys are getting your Attack on Titans and your Naruto's and your Dragon Ball Z's and your Gundams. But, you're not getting some of these classic games that us gamers fell in love with and actually were big fans of, man. We had an era. Early 2000s up to the end of 2000s, we still had an era of classic anime games that were actually premiering on Toonami at the same time, simultaneously getting in game stores and your GameStops, your EB Games. These games existed. These games were there. And a lot of my collection isn't the normal, I would say, Siphon Filters, your Metal Gear Solids. Like, I got those games. But I was really aiming for a lot of these anime games that I'm about to show you. So, and a lot of them I had to import, or I had to go to, different stores in the area I was living in at the time to actually get these import games, because I couldn't really find a lot of these games in GameStop or EB Games back then, or even Funko Land. Yeah, that's taking it back. But we got Cowboy Bebop and we got Samurai Champloo. And this was a cool game because it had the little, you could do a little scratching on the records. I don't know any game that does that. They let you scratch on a record while you're fighting. Like, you're literally pulling out the sword, you're fighting bad guys, and you're doing mixes on a turntable, on vinyl. It's insane. It didn't come with an actual prop set up vinyl. The vinyl was in the game. And you mixed it how you played. And if you messed up, that was a scratch on the record. But it was an awesome concept. These type of innovative games you will not find anywhere ever. Like, developers took chances back then to give you these certain type of concepts to make it feel fresh or brand new or something that no one ever done before. I think the only scratching of records we ever got was those Def Jam games, and those games are gone. Why those games aren't released on the PlayStation Network or your Xbox, Live, Like, they should at least give you a chance to actually play those games and spend that money to buy those licenses to play these games. But that's just one. Next one I have over here is Inuyasha Feudal Combat. There's another one. Great anime. Used to come on at nights on Toonami. This is what I'm saying. Like, Toonami ran the game anime back then. Anything that was found on Toonami or was coming to Toonami, they had a game for it. And here's one of them. Inuyasha Feudal Combat. Fighting game. Here's another one. Inuyasha Secret of the Cursed Mask. It was more like an RPG-based action adventure. But this anime existed. They got a new anime out now with his daughter. I haven't watched it yet, but I did pick up the Blu-ray DVD. I got to check it out. But Bandai ran the show along with Atari, but Bandai made sure that gamers, anime fans got these games. And these are classic titles. Like I said, you have your Demon Slayers out there. You got your Attack on Titans out there, which I do have myself. But this is just to bridge the gap between us anime fans and the new anime fans, to show you on how many years went by where you guys will never experience these games. And we were literally thrown in it. If you had a Sony PlayStation 2 back then, some of these titles weren't even on the Xbox. And I had an Xbox. But a lot of these titles were either on Sony or on Nintendo 3DS. But they existed. And then you get your Dragon Ball Zs, and you got your Budokai, you know what I mean? This was a good game. This is one of the best ones, in my opinion. And then they had Infinite World, you know what I mean? This is I don't know if you can find this title, because all I hear about is Dragon Ball Budokai 3. But this one was way more advanced. It gave you way more characters, and it had like a little stage where you can move the character around to go to different worlds. Similar to the earlier concepts, but this was, to me, was a lot better. But this was Infinite World. And then you had Bleach. Now, Bleach was an import game. I don't know why they never released it out here. There were fans of Bleach. They're still fans of Bleach. They're actually re-releasing the anime and making it again. Like, they're going to continue the story. Thank God. But us Bleach fans got dropped off a cliff. Like, we were, they put out so many Bleach games. They had Bleach games for the PSP. They had Bleach games for the Vita. They had Bleach games even for PlayStation 2 as well. And then we get we only got one game on, I think, PlayStation 3. And we got a Wii game that was like a more, use joystick to fight. But this game was more like pretty much like a Super Smash Brothers. Because this particular game lets you play with 4 characters. If you had the 4 double tap controllers, you could plug up like 4 controllers, you go just play it. And it was really, really fun. Bunkai and all that. It was awesome. Here's another one, Bleach Blade Battlers 2, which was a good one too. But like I said, when I was watching this on Toonami, when Toonami ran, Toonami really gave you the animes. They gave you, all of the, the tropes as far as anime, and they had made sure that the games came out simultaneously. But this was a pretty good game. But this was Bleach Blade Battlers 2. Next up for my late night viewing of Cartoon Network, they had Ghost in the Shell. Now, this is a standalone complex. I think this is the only one I've ever played. I know they had one on the PlayStation 1, but this one had better graphics, same character, same team, and it was pretty good. More tactical-based shooter types, espionage, sneaking around. You know, you get the same type of concepts as you would get in Metal Gear Solid. It wasn't as graphically good as Metal Gear Solid, but it was still a okay game. Next up, we got Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam vs. Zeta Gundam. Now, I'm a big fan of Gundam. I'm a big fan of Zeta Gundam. That's one of my favorite series out of all of them, is Zeta Gundam. Wing Gundam is cool. Mobile Suit Gundam is a classic, but Zeta Gundam really took it there as far as me getting into the Mobile Suit Gundam series. But this game was released in America, okay? This game was released. It was on store shelves. You could pick it up and buy it. This is one of the, not the first times they did it, because there was other ones before, like Journey to Jabaru and all that. But this one was more fast-paced. This actually took Gundam to the next level as far as accuracy, speed, and competitiveness, because you can play this two-player split screen. But this was also a good game. Then you got Encounters in Space. And even if you look at the back of this, it shows you that, yeah, this was a Cartoon Network, like, you know, sponsored. Because it's letting you know that it was shown on Cartoon Network. This was a good game as well. A lot of backstories as far as characters and everything. It was really good. But like I said, these games are lost to time. Like, you could find them on eBay. You could find certain of them even on Amazon. They're used. Some may not even come with a case. But this was a moment in time, like I said, a lot of anime fans that are out here today, you guys, the amount of anime games y'all guys are getting, we were getting the same amount back then. And it was just as marketed, just as promoted, heavily promoted. And all you needed was the system to play it. You know, to play your favorite characters or whatever. But these games did exist. Here's another one. Battle Assault, when Gundam Seed dropped. Gundam Seed dropped on Cartoon Network. Boom. They gave you Battle Assault 3. Now, this wasn't as good as the other Gundam vs. Gundam games. But, like I say, you see that marking right there. It says Toonami. It's letting you know that, look, we know you guys are watching this out there in the West. Here's the game for it. And there's a lot of games that they made that had mech suits in it that they did not release out here. Sadly, we never really got. But, you know, we got the Dynasty Warriors Gundams. You know, we got the Dynasty Warriors 1, Dynasty Warriors 2 Gundams. And it was okay, but there wasn't really no flight mechanism in that. And I think that's what really made Gundam Versus a lot better, because they had a flight. You can take flight and fight in the air, which was awesome. I think the majority of fans that played this, I mean, they started from these games and then they took it online when the PlayStation 4 Gundam vs. Gundam started coming out. So I still play that frequently, every now and then. But this is the origin. This is where it started, you know. And like I said, a lot of anime fans out here, y'all got your Attack on Titans, y'all got your Dragon Ball Z's, y'all know that. You know what I mean? You got your Demon Slayers, you know what I mean? You got your Tokyo, Zombie Tokyo. Y'all got all of that. But just as much as it's marketed to y'all now, it was marketed to us times 10 back then. And here's another one, Project Pegasus. What can I say about this game? It took me a long time to try to hunt down and find this game in this good condition. It based on the original 1 Year War through the eyes of Amuro Ray. Great game, great graphics. It never got released in America, sadly. And not for nothing, I wish it did. But these are games, like I said, these are lost to time. They're never going to get released again. You know, Microsoft and Sony or even Nintendo, I don't think they're willing to pay the license to even play these. And that's one of the main reasons why I believe most gamers should be owning their physical copies, because at any given moment they could take these games away from you, especially if it's online. If it's an online service, you're not going to get it. It's gone. Like, they're going to take it away from you, you know? Maybe the license expire, or maybe they just don't want to pay it anymore. They're like, look, we're going to move on to something else. Or the creator, which is Bandai Namco, may say, you know what, we're gonna give them a new one. Don't look back at that. Don't look at that. We got the new stuff. But that ain't cool. That's not cool at all. Yeah, should they do it? Could they do it? Yeah. Should they do it? Hell no. And it's possibly because the source code is gone in time. Those developers that make these games, bro, they are probably nowhere even in gaming anymore. And if no one saved any of this, I remember Kingdom Hearts was that way. They had to rebuild Kingdom Hearts 1 from the ground up using the PlayStation 2 disc. So that was a shocker. But these things do happen. Now, there's another game, and these are 3 different games. There's another one that actually came out too. I got the 3rd one on the PlayStation 3, but this is a game called Another Century Episode. Now, this took every of one of your favorite mobile suit, robot, super robot games and put them all in one package. They gave you all the robots from different series. I know this game will never get re-released, all right? Because there's so many creators tied to it, so many developing, cartoon companies that's tied to these. They all got different production companies. They will never let this. This is like if Disney and Warner Brothers made a game, okay? If you want to make it in layman terms. If Disney and Warner Brothers made a game, this will be the only time they'll ever make this game. And that's what the Another Century Episode series did. They only made this game for this particular time, for this particular generation, and that's it. Now, you do have Super Robot Wars that are on the 3DS. Thank God that, the 3DS Nintendo is actually letting them put it on the console. Because that's the only way you'll be able to experience all these mashup of different robots fighting each other or fighting with each other. It's pretty good. And they also made Another Century Episode 3, which was one of my favorite because it has King Gainer on it. Not once, but twice. King Gainer was created by the creator of Gundam. And really didn't get a lot of success. I don't even think it got an English translation. I hope it does. But these are just certain games that came out on the PlayStation 2 that is going to be lost to time. And all I'm making this video for is for the gamers, whoever decides to watch this video, that there was a point in time where Toonami rocked the foundation as far as making sure that anime and anime games got the exposure that it deserved. Because these are games coming from Japan, and they had a Western audience who really, we were going back buying manga VHS tapes back in my time. That just goes to show how old I am. But that's the only way we can get our anime fix. And hopefully some viewers will sit there and translate it for us so we can actually understand the wording, the script. Because we didn't speak Japanese. But you had those fortunate souls, and even YouTubers today, who get these import games and translate it for you, which is a very good thing. But like I said, these classic titles that I'm showing you here it was marketed towards us fans. We bought them, we experienced them, we played them. And if you decide to go for a subscription-based service with any of these companies, and you don't know the history as far as what games came out back then that just be lost to time. But comment, tell me what you think. This is another video. I'm ending it short, but I know it's a little too long, but comment, like, subscribe, and I'll make another video in the future. Peace.